Guys, so we're in trouble here, guys. Because the way we're talking about these issues, even for somebody like Chris Hayes, I mean, imagine that. His father was a houser, deeply involved in the work. Father was a community organizer. He went to graduate school to do some of this stuff and said, oh my God, even I understand it. And it's boring. I don't even, when people start talking about housing, I don't want to be there. I want to be someplace else. This is where we are, folks. How many of you have had that challenge of you start talking about housing, about why it's important and what you're trying to do, and people, they smile politely and they move away? How many of you have had that? Okay, now listen. There got to be more people in the room who've had that experience. Otherwise, y'all are in trouble. So here's the challenge for us, is that making the case for systems change, especially systems change that is reflected about housing and changes to the housing system, is a tough case to make. And it's tough for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's tough because the masterpiece, right? We are so close to the work, the what we do and why, and FHA and Fannie Mae and all the other financing and what you have to do, and 30% of AMI and 50% of AMI and 80% of AMI. Don't you get that, right? We're so close to it. When we start to talk about it, it sounds like this to folks, right? In addition to that, how do you know what to emphasize? There's so many parts of the work that we could emphasize, right? Do you emphasize the part that is about low-income families and what happens, or the impacts of it that affect the community, or do you emphasize the economic benefits of it, or do you emphasize the work that it takes to, like, what are the pieces that we emphasize to actually make the case? Then there's the thing, who has the time? How many of you are sitting at your desk saying, I just want to figure out, like, how do I make the case better? How do I got all day today to just figure out how do I engage, right, other Floridians, and how do I get them into the conversation? I just need to figure this out because you got nothing else to do in your day, right? I know, some of y'all don't have anything else to do. Then the data. So this is me. This is the data work. I went to school, got a PhD in economic development and public policy because I thought that data would be the thing, that we just had enough data to show policymakers the economic and social benefits of housing and other kinds of community development initiatives, that we would get their support. They would be running our way. They would say, of course, we have to do this. Look at the return on the investment. Well, we have all that data. In fact, we have more data. We're tripping over ourselves. We got so much data. And yet the conversation about housing has not changed. So we are drowning in data, and we have not, as I'm going to talk about in a second, figured out fully how to utilize that and leverage it in the case that we're trying to make for better housing solutions.